Champions League is back, that's right. Not long after PSG demolished Internazionale, we're back for the first round of qualifying. Who will continue their journey? Who will go home? We're going to get into it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we're taking a look at the Champions League. It's the first round of qualifying, guys, and it's the first legs. And they're coming at you in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe. You want subscribe for Champions League, Blackburn Rovers, World Football. We're going to all hear under one Ruski, that's right. Some familiar names in the mixer over in the qualifying round for the Champions League. But will they still be there when we come back, of course, for the second round of qualifying? We'll take a little look in just 1 second. Big shout out to the members and the patrons. You know who you are. But anyway, let's get cracking, of course, and of course, predict this. It is the Champions League, first round of qualifying, and these are some of the first legs. We've got two slides coming at you, and of course we're going to start at the top of the shop with Kups taking on Milsami. Alrighty then, Kups coming at you out of Finland, taking on Milsami, coming at you out of where they're playing their football in Moldova, that's right, the champions of Moldova, on the 8th of July. This is coming at you at the Kupino Football Stadium with Jakovic in the dugout for Kups, up against Milsami with Igor Pishkuskic in the dugout. Now these two sides are familiar foes, we'll talk about that shortly, but Kups coming into this on the back of 3 successive wins, Milsami on the back of just the 1 defeat in the last 6 in all competitions and all friendlies. Now they have played twice back in 2022, one win for Kups, nothing Milsami, and there's been a draw. That last match was actually in Milsami, 4-1 win it was for Kups, but the last time they played at this very venue, it was a 2-2 draw way back in July. We don't have any odds on this one, this particular one. We have a lot of the odds on a lot of the other Champions League matches, but this one is going under the radar here. But I am a little bit more familiar with Kups, so I'm going to go with a 2-1 win on this first leg, especially at home. And of course, we'll kind of get a feel of Milsami next time we come back around for those second legs. Next up we go, Iberia. FC Iberia taking on Malmo, coming at you out of Sweden. Of course, Iberia coming out of Georgia with a name like that. It's a little bit crazy. But they're coming at you with Levan Kokatsi at the dugout. They're actually on a bit of a slump at the moment. Back-to-back defeats, just 1 win in the last 4 all competitions. Up against Malmo and Henrik Rydström, just 1 win in the last 6. This match takes place at the Miski Stadium over in Georgia. Now, they've not played each other according to my data. But coming into this, we have odds for this one. The odds do lean heavily in favour of Malmo for this first leg, despite it being in Georgia. I too am going to go with Malmo on this one. Opening day match for them. Put them in a good spot for that second leg, which will, of course, take a little look when we come back around. Meanwhile, we're going to go to Noah Rievin up against Buducnost. That's right. Now, Noah, familiar team from last time, coming out of Armenia, up against Buducnost, coming out of Montenegro. This match taking place at the Obiant City Stadium. Now, of course, Rievin on the back of just 1 defeat in the last 6, and they've actually got a 13-match winning run at home up against Buducnost under the stewardship of Ivan Brkjevic. Just 1 defeat in the last 4. I never played, Yerevan, according to my data. I think Yerevan have been a new team on the scene in the last few years in Europe. And again, we don't have odds for this one, so again, it has to be in my gut. My gut instinct says it's probably going to be a draw. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think Buducnost probably are the superior out of the two, but when it comes to home turf here, Noah in their own backyard, they might just have the edge. Next go Levadia Tallinn up against FK RFS. Now, this match is actually taking place over in Estonia. Of course, the host FC Levadia coming out of Estonia up against RFS. FK RFS coming out of Latvia. That's right. This match will take place at the Albert Lecoq Arena. Levadia Tallinn under the stewardship of Torres Kuro, the Spaniard. 5 wins on the spin for them at the moment. Up against FC RFS under Victor Mozoros. They just lost once in the last 6. So these two sides, both of them, have actually got a good bit of form at the moment. Levadia Tallinn haven't lost any of their 21 home matches. Goodness gracious. I mean, they've never played each other according to my data. And again, we do have odds. Odds go in favour of the away side. FK RFS. I think I've leaned towards them on this one. But looking at that form, it's given me some food for thought. I'm going to go 2-2. That's good. Playing it safe, right? Then I'm looking, because I don't know about that FCI Levadia on this opening round of matches. Let's go to a team we do know about. Olympic Ljubljana up against FK Kairat. That's actually quite a difficult one to call on this one. Ljubljana coming out of Slovenia. Kairat coming out of Kazakhstan. That's right. Again, on the 8th of July, Ljubljana, of course, 75% form for them right now, unbeaten in at least the last 6. Up against Kairat under Alexander Kurskov, the Russian, 58% form for them right now, unbeaten in the last 4. Never played each other according to my data. This match at the Stuchki Stadium, of course. And again, one more time, we do not have any odds on this one, so it's all about gut instinct. And I think this is the last one we don't have any odds or indication as which way to go. But it doesn't change. I'm backing Ljubljana here. 3-0 win, comfortably done. They're a good team at this level. They should be qualifying. And they should be, well, actually, when I say qualifying, they should be in Europe some capacity. Probably not Champions League. They'll probably be Europa League or Conference League. We'll see. Meanwhile, let's go to the New Saints. That's, of course, coming out of Wales. They're taking on Shkendija, coming out of Macedonia, of course. New Saints, of course, managed by Craig Hawson. 75% form for them right now. Just one defeat in the last 6 up against Tekova or Shkendija Kotovo. 58% form for them right now. Just one win in the last 4. This match takes place at the Park Hall. These two sides are familiar foes. They played back-to-back against each other back in 2018 with a win apiece, of course, and they exchanged quite significant amount of goals between each other. The last time they played at Wales, New Saints won 4-0. However, Shkendija Kotovo won that tie in total with a 5-0 win in their own backyard to basically win 5-4 on aggregate. Bookies odds on this one, they'll go with the New Saints. Yes, they will for the home leg, as will I. Again, it's a tight game. These two sides are going to cancel each other out. I could see this one being a very difficult second leg as well. Meanwhile, we're going to go to KF Dritte, that's right. They're going to be taking on Differdange, of course, coming out of Luxembourg. Dritte coming out of Kosovo on the 8th of July. That's right. Dritte managed by Ramadan Shkendija. They're on 58% form for them right now. Just one defeat in the last 5 up against Differdange, managed by Pedro Resenda. Just one defeat in the last 6 for them. Never played each other according to my data, but bookies for this one we have going favour in KF Dritte. I'm actually backing Differdange here, going with the Luxembourg outfit. 2-1 win for me on the road on this one. Let's hop going over to the next slide. That's right. I've got Vikangor coming at you out of there's the Pharaohs taking on Lincoln Red Imps coming at you out of Gibraltar. Goodness gracious me. This is also on the, did I say 7th, the 8th of July. Vikangor managed by Johan Poulsen, just one defeat in the last 6, 75% form for them right now, up against Lincoln Red Imps, and managed by Javier Munoz, the Spaniard. 6 wins on the spin for them right now, and they're looking pretty hot to bloody trot at the moment. This match taking place at the Vid Dunmar Stadium over in the Faroes. The odds for this one then go in favour of the hosts here, KF Dritte. Again, I don't know. Did I lean towards Lincoln Red Imps? No, I've got back Vikangor on this one. 3-1 win. Of course I did. That's right. Look at that. You got bloody a Viking in the logo. Of course you got to back those guys. Next up we go Energita Rogozia. That's right. Taking on Bredovic. That's right. Bredovic coming at you also out of Iceland. Of course, Agneta coming at you out of Albania now. That's right. Coming at you at the Agneta Stadium. The host managed by Edia Tatova, who is Albania. 3 wins on the spin for them. Up against Bredovic, managed by Hannibal Alsson. That's right. Never played each other according to my data, but pretty good form for both sides coming into this. Both on identical kind of form here. Winning 3 and drawing 1 out of the last 4 matches. We got odds here going. It's very tight. Coin flip over this one, but I'm leaning towards the away side for this, just because I think Bredovic will have a little bit more in the locker room here, and of course we'll fancy the chances to get the result in the second. Next up, we go to Vitus against Srpski Mostar. That's right. Vitus coming at you also on the 8th of July. Vitus out of San Marino up against Srpski Mostar, who are out of Bosnia Herzegovina. This match takes place at the San Marino Stadium with Virtus managed by the Italian Luigi Bassotto, unbeaten in the last 6. In fact, they haven't lost in the last 31 matches, and they haven't lost any of the last 19 at home. But standing in the way is Srpski Mostar, managed by Mario Ivankovic, on back-to-back defeats for them. Of course, one was the back end of the season. Of course, one was a friendly as they took on Sarajevo on this one. Bookies will go with Srpski Mostar, despite Virtus' amazing run. Of course, it's book just its bakers, it's candlestick makers. So I've got to back Mostar, surely. I've gone with a 2-0 win. It could be a 20-0, it could be a 10-0, whatever. But I'm going to stick it to that one anyway. Meanwhile, moving forward, FK Zalgiris coming at you out of Lithuania up against Hamrun Spartans. That's coming at you on the 9th, of course, Zalgiris in Lithuania. This match is in Lithuania, the LFF Stadium, managed by Vladimir Chubin, coming at you out of Kazakhstan. They've just lost once in the last 6, however, also just won 1 in the last 6. They are the Draw Kings, picking up 4 draws out of the last 6. Up against Spartans, managed by Winston Muscat, also from Malta. Just 1 defeat in the last 6 for them. Never played each other according to my data. The Spartans on the back of a loss to what is this? Semi-final of the Cup over in Malta. As for Zalgiris, they're on the back of a win in the domestic league. But like I said, the draw specialists on this one, but they're expected to win this game over the Maltese outfit. Gone 3-1 win as well myself to give themselves the benefit of the doubt. That is the big boys. Former winners, that's right, Steaua Bucharest up against It's the Ascaldes, that's right, Interclub at the Ascaldes. This match taking place at the Storia Stadium. Bucharest on 92% form for them right now. They haven't lost in the last 12. However, Ascaldes haven't lost in the last 22. But of course, they're playing over in Andorra, that's right. Never played each other according to my data, but Ascaldes under the stewardship of Philip Ortiz on the back of at least 6 wins on the spin, including the cup final, where they won 1-0 way back at the end of May. But as for Bucharest, it's been friendlies, it's been pre-season. They've been trying to get in full fitness for this one. But I've got them winning this one quite comfortably on here. I got 5-0 in the end. That's my biggest scoreline, I think, across Europe. 5-0 win. Into the last couple, though, we got Ludogorets Razgrad taking on Dynamo Minsk. Also a bit of a spicy one. Ludogorets Razgrad coming at you out of Bulgaria, if I'm right. Up against Dynamo Minsk coming out of Belarus on the 9th of July. The Hupamama Arena. Ludogorets managed by Rui Mota. However, winless in at least the last 6 matches. In fact, they haven't lost any of the last 10 at home. Scrap that. They haven't won in the last 6. They haven't lost any of the last 10 at home, but they've drawn 4 of the last 6. Up against Dynamo Minsk, managed by Vladimir Skripchko. 5 wins of the last 6 matches for themselves, and they played each other a couple of times, stretching back. Just last year, of course, around about this time last year, the last time they played at this very venue, it was a 2-0 win for Ludogorets. But they also had a victory themselves, Dynamo Minsk, in the return leg in their backyard. Bookies odds for this one, what are we looking at here? It's going to go for Ludogorets Razgrad. I think I'm going there as well. 3-1 win, job done. And then finally, we have a one match, which I may, depending on how things go, I might do a watch-along for this one. Shelbourne up against Linfield. It's an all-Irish encounter. It's Republic of Ireland up against Northern Ireland. It's coming at you over at Tolka Park. Shelbourne was managed by Damien Duff, no longer there right now. 1 win the last 6 for them, 42% form. Up against Linfield under Northern Ireland legend David Healy. Correct me if I'm wrong. 4 wins in the last 6. They've never played each other according to my data. It's at Tolka Park. It's a spicy one. Just 1 win the last 6 for Shelbourne. Up against Linfield, though, who've won 4 of the last 6. Bookies for this one, very tight. Shelbourne just about edge it, but of course they are under a new manager at the moment. It's a new manager bounce. I've gone with a 1-1 draw, just because I just don't know. That's it, guys. That's what I've got. Let me know what you've got, of course, as we look forward to this. Champions League is here. We're back. Second legs round around the corner. But until then, I'll see you soon when we return. Until then, I'm done.